Here we go again. God of War fans might want to pay attention to this one because new leaks are claiming that another God of War game is already in development and it might not be what people expected after Ragnarok. We're hearing rumors about a new setting, a possible spin-off style story, and a return to the God of War universe sooner than expected. But here's the twist. This will not be Kratos' next main adventure. Instead, leaks suggest Sony could be exploring a different part of mythology, possibly a new playable character, his wife Faye. So what exactly is going on with the future of God of War?
Are you not entertained?
So here's what the rumors are saying right now. According to multiple industry insiders, Sony Santa Monica is already working on a new God of War project, even though Ragnarok only wrapped up the Norse saga a few years ago. But this project might not be God of War 6. Instead, leaks suggest the studio could be developing a smaller spin-off style title that explores another character or story within the universe. One rumor afloat around is that it could focus on Atreus following the events of Ragnarok, where he sets off on his own journey to find the remaining giants. If that turns out to be true, the game could explore new mythologies, new locations, and a different style of gameplay compared to Kratos' brutal combat. Or new and other reports are suggesting that a more action-based game based off of his wife, Faye, is in the cards. A new setting and to branch more of the narrative set from the 2018 God of War. At the same time, Sony is clearly not done with the franchise. The God of War series is one of PlayStation's biggest brands, so it makes sense that they want to keep momentum going while the next major entry is in development. I just want to say this. You heard it here once before, you're hearing it here again. Because we also let you all know about that 2D side-scrolling God of War. And we were right. But I'm going to say this. I love God of War. I have played all of them. I have the collector's edition of the 2018 and Ragnarok. But Sony, you are about to milk the shit out of this damn game. You already did 2 Pantheons. You had the side scrolling little small story that you did that a lot of people feel some type of way about. And now you're going to off-brand shoot another small spinoff while also still waiting for another big main line, and we don't know where it's truly going, if it's going the route of the Egypt or not. Slow down. Let the series breathe. You did it from the Greek pantheon to the Norse. Let's take a breather. You had to come back. You had to do gangbusters. Let it rest. Let's come back to this the next generation or so. Like, you're going to run this into the ground, especially if what made God of War the God of War franchise is Kratos. I don't believe anyone wants to play anyone else but him. He is the face of the franchise. Even if you made a story of his son, it could not live up to the expectations and pedigree of a Kratos game. That's just my take. How do you feel, Treese?
Yeah, listen, and I'm gonna say this as a female gamer. I do not give a fuck to play his fucking wife in another game. I think I can safely say I wouldn't give a fuck as a female. I already stated on this podcast, I don't even like playing as females characters. I guess because I'm a female, so I want to play as a male. But I think this would be the dumbest thing ever. And there's nothing that the writers and creators of Game of War could ever do, because this game is called God of fucking War. What the fuck does his wife have to do with that? Like, mind you, in the old game, she's such a throwaway. I don't even remember like her fucking backstory besides she died. And listen, I think this would be the dumbest. They're saying Faye's story before the events of God of War 2018. Some reports say that the project might feel like a new franchise within the God of War universe. Baby, no. Let's not play fucking games. Expected timeline from leaks revealed possibly soon, with a release around 2027. Listen, there has to be some other aspect than just her story, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna give a fuck and I'm not gonna buy it. And I think a lot of God of War true fans will not give a fuck about her or her story. That has to be like, her son has to be integrated. Maybe his story. I mean, that was the rumors we were hearing first. It was going to be a Atreus storyline, and him taking over, like my cousin said. So where the fuck did this bitch come from? Like, and why would we give a fuck about her? I'm being brutally honest. And I've been saying Sony has been milking this fucking God of War dry, and then I just don't. It doesn't make sense because the original maker of the current games was like, oh, I didn't want to stretch the shit to 3 games, so that's why we wrapped it up in 2. So like, then you try to come back and milk it, and even if they have a different writer for this bitch story, like it's like total opposite of what they've been saying. I don't know. I am bewildered. Sony has been moving weird in the new year. You know, they closed Blue Point. They're not doing any sequels, next gen or remakes or things for Bloodborne. I just don't understand what they're doing. And if this is to be true, I'm gonna just tell you right now, I don't give a fuck. I won't buy it. I don't care for her. Like I said, I forgot her name. Like it wasn't until these rumors I was like, oh, that was her name. That was listen. She was Kratos' wife that died. That's the only association I had her. And maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe there's some Greek story about her that makes her badass. I don't know. I'm gonna just tell you right now. I'm gonna use my platform responsibly. I'm ignorant to Faye's backstory or whatever there might be. But even with all that, even if she does has a badass, this is God of War. Like, let's not ever forget who's the fucking main ticket we come to see to the show is fucking Kratos. And we was already letting you live with Kratos' son being a subject matter and stuff like that. Like we was already stretching it like, okay, we can kind of like, venture off from Kratos and but his wife? Nah. Nah, it's a hard fuck no for me. And you can call me an asshole. You can say, "Oh, women's stories are important in gaming." And no, I just know I wouldn't give a fuck. And you can call me an asshole, but I'm just gonna be honest and I'm not gonna lie. I will not support this. There has to be something else to the story than just this bitch. Okay, I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. There's gonna have to be something major, something majorly else than this bitch. She cannot be the main ticket. I know you like to play female characters, but in a God of War game, like, would you make such a big
Hey, what the fuck? Why are you dragging me into that?
no? Cause you like to play female characters, like
Yeah, I do. I do.
so. I mean,
But
if
but
it,
my
out
but
of
my stance is I agree with you. I don't know what the fuck. There's no God of War game if you're not playing Kratos. You need to call it something else.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
At this point, you're doing what Ubisoft does with the Assassin's Creed game. They no
Oh
longer tell the
god.
story of the Templars and all that stuff. They're just timepiece games, and they just say, "Oh, this is called Assassin's Creed" to make sure it has the brand recognition.
Yeah, so he can sell.
I
So they gonna slap God. No,
don't,
no fucking way.
yeah.
This is
The
this.
only angle I can see them going with this is showing from her perspective what she was in or did before Kratos came along there and how Kratos got there. But I don't think no one really cares. We
No,
don't.
no. I
Because
told you.
if that was the case, it would have got explained some way, somehow in the games. And it never was, and they did. And like I said, I played 2016. I'm sorry, 2018. And I played Ragnarok. No one cared. It was not brought up. They didn't even do the whole, oh, we're gonna tell you, not show you. It just, hey, he went from Greek pantheon to Norse pantheon. And that was it. So I have no interest whether it's Atreus or it's his wife
Oh,
Faye.
so
And
you don't even want to play a game with his son.
no,
All right, I didn't know that. Hold on. I didn't know we was Xing out his son. I mean, his wife is
no.
outrageous, but his son?
Do you remember the segment in 2018 when you had to play as him with the bow and arrow thing?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no. So I'm putting it like this. I'm putting it like this, and I'm not trying to be biased. I'm all for different forms of play and etc.
Right.
When you hear and or think of God of War in any of his games, whether it be the PS2 ones, the PS3, the PSP, any of them, you think brutal,
Mm-hmm.
hardcore, fast fast-paced action. Even in the newer ones, and they changed the perspective. He still fights savagely. He still
Yeah.
beats ass
Even as
brutally.
an old
He
man.
still gets down. Even as an older man and a demigod, he still gets down. You can't tell me, you can't tell me you can see that happening playing as his kid. Even with him somewhat maturing in the sequel. You just can't be like, yeah, I see him beating ass, squashing someone's head against a rock,
But see,
gouging their
like,
eyes out and fucking them up.
I think for them to put God of War, you have to have that type of element in the combat, even with his son. So they to truly put the God of War stamp on it, he has to be about that shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I thought they would have just like, hey, like that bow and arrow shit, that's cool, but we gonna have to make this motherfucker get down. I thought that was the only way they was gonna be able to quote unquote make a sequel with his son being the focus.
But see, that also goes in hand with the report saying it's a spinoff. It's a thing that's deviating from it. And
Okay.
I don't give a fuck. I don't want to play it. That's like an Uncharted game without Nathan Drake. Even though there was rumors about that, but we ain't gonna go off on a tangent. That's just absurd. This is how franchises get ruined or their
Yeah.
branding gets confusing when you trying to
Do too
over milk
much.
it and do too fucking much. No one's
Yeah.
asking for this. No one is asking for this side story shit. You hinted at the possibility of us being able to hop between pantheons, between mainline entries. Norse is done. You hinted at Egypt in both games. Let the series simmer, cool down. We've had our new fun of it, and then come back in another generation. All right, now he's in Egypt. You don't need to oversell or over milk this because, like I said, that 2D side scrolling God of War, I've heard people feel some type of way.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
people, a lot of people are at mixed bags of it, and I'm like, they made it more of a Metroidvania, and I'm like, that ain't what God of War is. That's not what it's about. In no way in those first titles did you ever backtrack. And I know Metroidvanias are hot, and that's a thing, and that's what people like. Not for this franchise. So whatever they're trying to plan to do, stop it.
Mm.
Just stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
my take.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think we were pretty much in agreement. This was I believe will be brand damaging. Like you couldn't put God of War name nowhere in the title because it would just be such false advertisement. We already associate God of War with Kratos. So anything outside of that, if you put fucking flashbacks, even if you had little mini segments where in the memory you see Kratos. Like as as a female lead, will probably be less brand damaging. And I think you're right. They need to let this franchise breathe. They has become a little too codependent. We already got the trilogy remakes in the works. I mean,
Mm-mm.
yeah, that's probably 3 years away from being anything realistic before we get a trailer. But if this is to come out in 2027, which is, I mean, 8 months from now, 9 months from now, it's a hard no for me. I don't listen. This would be a major fuck up. I think it would be brand damaging. I think it would be stupid. I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't care for it, and I love God of War. Don't get me wrong. I remember God of War being on PSP. I remember the little R-rated sex scenes that I fucking like, God, I grew up with God of War. Like, I became an adult with the God of War game. So this just no, I have no interest, and I think it would be a huge, huge fuck ups. I hope these reports are just maybe a small segment of a game, but even then, you're pushing it. Like, even then, it's still a stretch. So I don't know. Listen, maybe you can get in the comments. Maybe you can educate me on her story, her background. Maybe she got some badass background. I don't know. Maybe she deserves to be regarded more than just Kratos' wife that died
Yeah,
in that
why?
one game. Yeah, like, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you get in the comments trying to sell me on this story, it's gonna be hard to make me change my mind. And I think that's gonna be a lot of people, true fans of God of War. They're gonna have the same stance that we have because, like, what the fuck are you doing? But let us know in the comments down below.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?